putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Dark blazer, white red or blue pattern tie. This is the unchanging uniform of one of Washington's most respected insiders, and the Justice Department's pick to lead the investigation into Russia's interference in the 2016 election. The choice of Robert Mueller for special counsel has been met with unusual universal praise from both sides of the aisle.
I think he's a person of great integrity.
He'll be above politics.
You will not push him around.
Completely unimpeachable in all respects.
He will investigate the matter and follow the facts wherever they may lead.
From decorated war hero to crusading prosecutor to unyielding FBI director, this is how Robert Mueller came to be considered the least biased man in America.
That was the beginning, the introduction to us of Robert Mueller and how amazing he is. Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. 844-551-8255, kjradio.com if you want to send us a note. Now, what's funny about that is they went in afterwards to tell us Robert Mueller at the age of 3 began exhibiting integrity beyond belief. There was no such person like him. They knew from a young age that Robert Mueller would be unbiased. He would grow up to become a Marine. Wounded in combat, Purple Heart, Legion of Navy Valor, such and such of a soldier on a cross, you know. I mean, on and on. How great he was. And then I went to research, dude, and went, wait a minute. He ain't all that in a bag of chips. And I told y'all, I said, too many. Nancy Pelosi, Robert Mueller, he's amazing. John Lewis. Oh, he's above reproach. There's nobody like Mueller. You know, all the lefties. And then a handful of right-leaning politicians, supposedly. Oh, you know, well, he'll investigate and he'll do the best job possible. There's nobody that can corrupt Robert Mueller. But see, I already knew. I knew the gig was up, or the jig was up, whatever you want to call it. I knew that he was a swamp snake because I got a big clue when James Comey, after he was fired, he got asked about Mueller's capabilities, and Comey did not endorse Mueller. He canonized the man. He went on. He's the most amazing guy. I've worked with Robert Mueller. There is no one who can impugn Robert Mueller. If there are sexual abuse, misconduct allegations against Robert Mueller, kill the woman because she's lying. You know, if anybody says a word against Robert Mueller, well, how could it possibly be? He's the only man that you can mention. If the Pope said Robert Mueller was a bad guy, you know you've got a fake Pope. And I was like, wow, this guy must really be guilty of something. Mueller, they say, was the perfect man for the job. In fact, that video clip that I played the audio on, the title of it was The Perfect Man for the Job. There was nobody else. And ironically, he was. Because after you've made this guy bigger than God when it comes to investigation, Robert Mueller was like, well, I can pull off anything, man. I can hire a bunch of people that hate Donald Trump. And people will say, no, he's just trying to make it partisan. He wants to make sure that there's a balance. Think about it. I mean, right out of the box, Mueller's like, okay, he might as well have done a casting call and says, for the people, please, I need 10 people that hate Donald Trump. Anyone? Miss me, Mr. Mueller, me, I really hate him. You have no idea. I hate him so much. Oh, you there, Miss Eager. Yeah, you, passionate. Get up here. Come on, all you strippers. And he brings all these people onto his team that hate Donald Trump. He believed he could pull this off. After endorsements like that, who could question him? And luckily for America, folks, there are insiders who stand guard at the gate. They know that of what's going on in this country and the craziness, that's the leftism that's taken over. And one of them is a guy, I don't know who it is. He writes under the name of True Pundit. Go to truepundit.com. And he's ex-FBI. And his Twitter name for you is Thomas Paine something. But if you, it'll pop up. And the people that are doing this, driving this thing, are all ex-FBI guys. and they have a knack for getting information about the FBI before the fake news media can synthesize a lie and then spin it. And the media can't stand them. These guys have been breaking stories about the FBI before it ever hits the marketplace. And I'm telling you, I thought at one point they were fake news because I'd go there and I'd go, they have no references, but great inside intel. And then 2 days later, boom, it's mainstream. So True Pundit wrote of Mueller's appointment at the time, call it the 4 tweets of the Mueller apocalypse, which foretold laws would be broken in order to take down President Trump. While everyone from mainstream media pundits to green journalists on Twitter were trumpeting the appointment of Special Counsel Mueller on May 17th, only a handful of well-placed sources went against the media's Mueller's love fest. Mueller was appointed to investigate the collusion, obviously. It says within an hour of the appointment, True Pundit's Thomas Paine, who had worked with the FBI, was familiar with Mueller as the Bureau's boss, warned the news site's followers that this was the first sign of a disaster. 4 tweets. Among the harshest media critics of former FBI boss James Comey, foretold the current Mueller and Comey debacle 2 months ago, raining on everyone's celebration, based on the groupthink that Mueller would exonerate President Trump. Paine clearly knew this was true. The opposite was true. And the final tweet said Mueller would break laws in order to bring down Donald Trump, was deleted by Twitter, which they do quite often on Thomas Paine's feed because they know, that this guy gets it right. Now, I suggest to you that hiring only Hillary Clinton supporting attorneys indicated how Mueller would conduct the investigation early on. And you guys are writing to me, Kevin, what do you think about Mueller hiring all these? And I went, it's kind of weird. But, what do you want me to say? I didn't know what these prosecutors were. And I'm under the impression that, there's going to be a lot of people that are anti-Trump, pro-Hillary, whatever, but justice must prevail. Because, I'm naive like that. And so as it went on, I started thinking about what would I be doing if I were Trump and this were going on? Because people were like, why won't he say anything? And I was like, that's a good question. And then I thought to myself, because if you're not guilty, and if I were just a regular citizen and they were stacking the deck against me, I'd be concerned. If I'm president of the United States and I have privy to information that they may not know I have, because believe it or not, there are people within the FBI who don't like Hillary Clinton and didn't like what was going on, and they start whispering in the ear of the president, and he can get his people to verify it and start, doing whatever they do, waterboarding, I don't care, torturing, then Trump probably knows a little bit more than we may think. So he says, let's give them latitude. You ever seen that? Let's let them bring the quarry to us. We don't have to go hunt them. They'll come to us. It plays out in movies all the time. You seen Gladiator? I'll use anything to talk about Gladiator. And the guy says the sea snake that plays dead. So the prey will come up to try to eat him, and whoop, he eats them. He bites them. So this guy issued 4 tweets, and he's talking about what is going to be happening here. He explained Payne's the relationship with Rod Rosenstein and Mueller and Comey and all that, and he said they're not going to be what you think they are. So I understand this. I really do. We all know that the FBI treated Hillary Clinton very differently than they did General Flynn. I would love to see how they explain themselves out of this. So what does the president know? And think about when he was candidate Trump, what he didn't know, and now what he's been privy to. Anyway, True Pundit said this. They're predicting heavy December fireworks about a major scandal in the FBI that's going to further shake the foundation of the embattled agency and Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigative team. They've been breaking story after story of unfolding corruption and scandals in the FBI. And now they're saying in the next few days, this week, you're going to start seeing much more. This is the tip of the iceberg. Now, what I'm telling you is this. Thomas Paine, who's writing under a pseudonym, by way of True Pundit, they have FBI insiders that are leaking them information. It's like this group. I have some friends that are ex-CIA, and the stuff they put out is just extraordinary. And I'm telling you, what you're going to see this week is going to blow your mind.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.